something to know about me a little before I get into what this video is about. I like old cars. I don't understand the functions and the mechanics of how cars work. I'm not a mechanic. That's not my special interest, but I do like older cars that like from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Cars in the 80s and 90s. They got you to A and B, but they weren't memorable classics. Except for the DeLorean, that's about it. But the thing is, the Pottsville Cruise was today. And so I decided to take my baby brother out for a while, and we were only there for an hour. So while I'm walking around, I find the Historical Society of Pottsville is giving out books. They're selling them. So I found this book with the title The Torch Is Passed. Now I'm curious of what it is. I open it, and it's a book dedicated to what happened before Kennedy was assassinated and after Kennedy was assassinated, and how America moved on from that tragic assassination of Kennedy. But it could have been prevented. There was a presidential aide of John F. Kennedy who was told by an aide of the governor of Texas that there was a threat put on the two men's lives. The guy wanted to kill Kennedy and the governor of Texas. Now, the presidential aide of Kennedy was advised that to tell him that it would be wise if he skipped Dallas, but nothing came of it. And what happened? Kennedy was assassinated, and the governor of Texas was lucky he got injured. So I was telling my mom this, and she says that's kind of sounds like what happened with 9/11, and in a way that's true. Because if you think about it, in 1993, the Twin Towers were bombed. Now, they were bombed at the roots of the building, which is a pretty dangerous hit for buildings like that. And the firemen of New York got the fire out, and the Twin Towers were fine. Nothing ever came of that situation. No deaths, no injuries. Everybody was safe. But in 2001, when the Twin Towers were hit, now here's my problem with what happened with the whole 9/11 thing and all that. First of all, we knew that there were signs that the Twin Towers were going to be attacked again. It was only a matter of time, but we just didn't know when. And when we had clear signs, when Bush was in office, no measures were prevented to stop something like this from happening. So, what did? We dismissed the claims, just like what happened with this presidential aide of Kennedy's. He dismissed the whole thing that assassination attempt on Kennedy would happen in Texas, so we dismissed. Years later, when 9/11 happened, we dismissed that the Twin Towers would not be hit by planes. So, when the first tower was hit by the plane, what did the security guards and the bosses and all the people in the buildings advise the employees to do? To crawl under the desk and stay there until help would arrive. First of all, there's a problem with that. Hiding under a desk, if an atomic bomb hits, if a plane hits your building, whatever happens to your building, hiding under your desk is not going to solve the problem. Okay? So after the plane hit the first tower, that should have been assigned to the North Tower and the rest of the South Tower to evacuate while they could. And a lot of people's lives would have been saved. But no, they were advised to stay under the desk, that everything would be fine, not to leave the building, and what happened? The towers collapsed, and we let those people die. We let those people die. We did that. We let our own people die. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We let our own people die. We let that happen. We didn't do anything to prevent it from happening, or we didn't do anything to save the rest of the people's lives that weren't hit by the plane. We let our people die. That's a shame on us. That's not a shame on the Islamic world. That's been our scapegoat for years. Was it under Osama bin Laden's plotting of 9/11? Yeah. Part of the problem is from extreme Islam religion. But also part of the problem is us. We could have let the rest of the people evacuate the buildings and tons of lives could have been saved. But did we do that? No. Shame on us.